Hello and welcome to another episode of Toxic Love Transformation. I'm your host, Stephanie McPhail. And I'm coming to you from a little bit of a different location because I just kind of was sitting here thinking about some of the conversations that I've had recently with people. And I have an honest question for you. And that is, were you or did you wake up today to just be good enough? Like when you got up out of bed today, did you say, I'm going to just be good enough? Because I'm wondering, is your okay actually okay? And here's why I'm asking that question, because a lot of times when I talk to people, they tell me their immediate response is, I'm okay. And I know that one of the things is we don't want to bother people. We don't want other people to know how we're struggling, how stressed out we are, how overwhelmed we are. But when we end an unhealthy relationship or we're still in one, it's hard. We're not okay. And that's okay. It's okay that we're not okay. We don't have to be dishonest with ourselves. We don't have to lie to people. I think we know that we're not okay. But I think that so many of us are so used to trying to pretend like everything is okay because that's how we survived. I remember, when I was in my toxic relationship, I could literally feel like I was on fire and drowning at the same exact time. And just like all of you, people would say, how are you doing? And I'd say, I'm okay. And I would be on the inside begging for someone to say, are you really though? Because I'm here to help. I'm here to do something to support you. And I couldn't verbalize it. I think we're so used to putting our wants and needs on the back burner because we tried so hard to make somebody else happy that we forgot that our needs are important. Or we've been told for so long that we don't have value or that our needs aren't important that we don't speak up for ourselves. We don't share what's going on. And I'm telling you that you were put here to do more than survive. You were put here to do more than just be okay. If you could imagine what it would be like if you knew exactly what you need to do so that you didn't have to pretend, you could be honest, you could be real, you could share honestly. I mean, that's really the honest word, because when we're not sharing what's going on, we're really kind of being dishonest. We're pretending, we're putting on a mask. What if we took that mask off and we were able to really be our authentic selves? How would our life be different? And so I'm just really here to remind you that just because somebody at some point in your life told you that you're not good enough or made you feel like you're not good enough or that you think that your goals for your life are not enough, I want to tell you that they are. What you want for yourself is valid. You are worthy of wonderful, amazing things. And the fact that you're in a fog, the fact that you're overwhelmed, the fact that you feel isolated or that you're angry or any of those other things that you might be feeling, all of those things are normal, but they don't have to stay that way. You can actually start making something different for yourself. And imagine what that would look like. I mean, I talk about this all the time. I could have never imagined what my life would look like before I did the work. Could never imagine living this life at all. And, the amount of times where I kept saying I was okay because part of trauma is hyper independence. Like, I can figure this out on my own. Again, people would ask if I was okay. The answer would be I was fine. I wanted to try to figure it out on my own. I didn't want to bother people. And that's exactly what keeps us stuck, is not accepting help when it's there for us, but also not feeling like we are worthy of it, or not feeling like it's possible for us to change, and not seeing our value. And that's a lot of the times because somebody else has made us not feel valuable. So I just really wanted to come on and remind you again, you are valuable. you were put here to do more than just survive. I think it's time for you to stop living for everybody else and start focusing on you. Because when we do the hard work on ourselves, and we have to at some point we have to really look within. We have to look at ourselves and say, hey, what can I do differently? What lessons do I need to learn so that I don't repeat those mistakes moving forward? And when we get real about that, and again, honest with ourselves and say, hey, there's some things that I could do differently, then we can make changes. And then we can do all the great things that we were put here to do. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that was a reminder of your worthiness. You've made everybody else a priority. You've pretended for so long to try to make everybody else feel comfortable. What would it feel like if you were just you? And you could be vulnerable, you could be in a safe place, and you really knew exactly what you needed to do to heal. How would that feel? So if there's any questions for me, feel free to send me a message, but we're here for you. I see the vision. I know that there's so much more available. And I want, my goal is to really help as many people as I possibly can get them to that place where they really are thriving. I love being able to see people really feel that magic, because I couldn't have imagined it back then. So I get it. I know it's hard to think about it, but you've been taking care of everybody else long enough. It's time for you. It's time to make your light shine brightly. It's time for you to step into that next best chapter where you get to be the creator of your life. You get to decide what you're going to share with the world instead of having everybody else decide for you. This is your time. Don't worry. I know that it's scary and can feel really overwhelming, but you can get there. I know you can. So on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in. As always, love hanging out with all of you. And never forget, you are way stronger than you realize. See you next episode. Bye, everybody.